So our second phase, we're looking at max velocity. So initially what we did is we looked at the first two contacts. We want to be about 30% of our velocity within 2 contacts. Steps 3 through 10 are really my transition, my acceleration up to top speed. Once you get around step 10, step 11, step 12, you start to hit that peak velocity, that max velocity phase. So a couple of things we look for in the max velocity phase. Number 1, I want to see, is that contact time below 0.1 seconds? For our very, very, very elite guys, you'll see under 0.09, but most athletes are about 0.09 to about 1.11, 0.12. Anything in the 0.1, under 0.15 is very good for a high school athlete. So how fast is that contact time? Then the flight phase ends up being longer. The flight phase is longer than the contact time. That's because the athletes are floating further per step. Okay, so the stride length is going to be dependent on a couple factors. Number 1, how much force you're putting in the ground. Number 2, leg length. And number 3, just how fast you are. So I'm not going to touch too much on that. So again, first part I'm looking at is fast contact times. Then I want to say, how fast is my left contact versus my right contact? And I want to subtract the difference. So if my left contact is 0.09 and my right contact is 0.12, I know there's probably something going on there that I need to adjust from a technical standpoint. So if I have a fast contact, that means, okay, I have the ability to get that fast contact, but maybe it's because my step length is short. Maybe I'm not getting enough air time. Maybe I'm trying to go too quick. What we want to do is even those out. So either bring that 0.09 up or that 0.12 down, depending on what the issue is. Or it could be a technical issue. You could be reaching out, casting that leg out in front, and breaking the athlete on contact. So what we look for is an athlete that can land with a foot under their hips. So I leave the ground, my foot travels up, comes back around, lands under the hip. So if my hip is here, my foot is there, I know that I'm stacked and I'm able to project forward. The further I land in front, so if my hip is here and I land in front, that means that I have to wait for my hip to cross over my ankle, which means I'm braking for a period of time and I'll have a longer ground contact time. So I want to make sure I fix those things first. Within that phase, you look at how long can you keep those contact times fast. So what happens is, which is inevitable, you're going to have a deceleration phase. I want to manage myself through this phase to make sure I don't decelerate too soon. So I'm not braking too soon. That's what we're looking at for max velocity sprinting.